Now, as journalists, sometimes the stories that we cover can hit close to home, and that was the case on Wednesday for an anchor with our CBS affiliate KUTV. In the hours after Charlie Kirk was shot, Heidi Hatch was on the ground covering the latest when she realized that her son had been in the crowd.
My son, a student here at Utah Valley University, a sophomore this year. I did not know he was going to be at the event. He was actually texting me from the event earlier today saying I'm going to talk to him. I was trying to figure out who he was talking to, and the next thing I heard was a call, him panicked and running, scared. You could hear screaming on campus. All the kids were running after that shot was fired. My eyes are getting full of tears because I see my cute kids. Can I go hug them for a second while you talk?
Absolutely. I needed to witness that moment. Is she okay?
Oh, you guys are watching us on TV. Well, I'm sad because I was scared for you. I got to hug the friends
okay,
too.
We'll give them a moment here, Josh.
So just a few minutes after she reunited with her son Jordan, he joined his mom on camera to talk about what he saw when Kirk was shot.
So there was some stairs leading down towards the stage, and I was kind of at the top of those stairs. So I was gonna make my way down. I wanted to debate him, but I was just up there. I was talking to some kids, and it happened. I thought someone was blowing up fireworks. I thought there was some sort of firecrackers or something. And then I saw his head go back. I saw him fall over, and everyone freaked out. Kids were getting down. I sprinted out of there, called you.
Yeah, I got a panicked phone call, and I'm not a very good mom under pressure because I think I freaked out and hung up on you at some point trying to find your dad. But when you left and you said you saw his head go back, did you realize in your mind that he had been shot, or did you still think there was fireworks and he was being dramatic and fell over or something?
It took a second or two, but I heard the fireworks. I maybe even saw some smoke come up from somewhere, but I saw his head go back. I saw him fall out of the chair, and everyone started screaming. And I didn't see any of the blood, but I think at that point I knew that something insane, something I never thought I would experience happened. I kind of realized that he had been shot.
So I want to welcome KUTV anchor Heidi Hatch. Heidi, thank you so much for being here. You know, anytime I've seen stories like this, violence, school shootings, I always think about the parents of the people who are killed, who are injured, and also the families of the people who see this. You were obviously in work mode, and I understand how that is, but how was it doing this, covering this story, and then also trying to manage the feelings that you were having about your child?
Overwhelming sadness, and that video you just saw was about 6 hours after I got that original call. The shooting happened at 12:20. I got the call from my son at 12:24 when I think he'd gotten a little bit away from the venue and was getting closer to where his apartment was. Still, you could hear kids screaming and the commotion from that. So I was live on air that entire time, and I think I was extremely distracted. I was constantly checking my phone. We use those for our earpiece as well to dial in, and so I couldn't hang up and call him, and I was texting and trying to get him there. But also at the same time, I didn't really want him to come where I was at because there was not a shooter in custody, and I was worried about his safety. So I think it was just a day of overwhelming emotions in trying to do my job, worrying about everyone involved, the Kirk family that had lost so much, and thousands of kids who just witnessed something that you just never want them to see.
Yeah, of course, you know, even in the era of the internet where videos like this are out there and they're horrific and disturbing, you always want to sort of protect your kids' innocence, no matter how old they are, I'm sure. Obviously, this story, this horrific killing has gotten attention internationally. This is just dominating the media right now, and you are in the middle of it. Your station is there covering all of this, looks like almost around the clock. What has that been like for you professionally and for the town where you're in?
I think it's been overwhelming because here in Utah, I think we like to think of ourselves as somehow being insulated from the rest of the world, which is obviously not the case. I have parents who are in the Netherlands right now where my mom's from and visiting. She says that it's the only thing they're talking about there. People here in Utah, I have family members that have been working on the investigation, friends that had kids there as well. So it just feels like there's been a lot going on. I think that there was a hope that there'd be a sense of relief once an arrest was made. But I can tell you as a mom today and as a journalist, I feel no sense of relief because somehow I think we were hoping that the shooter was not from Utah and we could say this isn't us, like the governor said today, but it is one of our own. It's a young man who was going to college with the rest of our students that same age, and we're all left wondering, how do we get to this point and how do we make sure this never happens again?
Yeah, I know working in local media, it can feel like you have a relationship with your viewers, and certainly they have a relationship with you. And I'm sure seeing that reunion was emotional for not just you, for a lot of people. But how is your son doing now? How is he processing all of this?
It depends on which minute I'm talking to him. Sometimes I feel like he's doing well. And then this afternoon, before I was talking to you, he was having a moment where he was alone for the first time, he said, since the shooting had happened. And all of a sudden, in that quiet and that silent, the emotions were overwhelming and the flashbacks of what happened started to come. The night after the shooting happened, he said he didn't want to come home. We live about a half an hour from the campus, and he was going to stay down there. And he ended up going to another friend's apartment where they put all the mattresses on the floor in the living room. And I think 8 kids slept there together at night because they just wanted to be near other people who'd gone through that same experience. So I think there's going to be waves of emotion that come, and I think very difficult when they have to head back to campus. And every day as they walk to class, walk by that area that you can't avoid where that shooting happened. That's going to be the hard part, I think.
Yeah, Heidi, I'm sure. And we've heard stories like that again before with survivors of other shootings, mass shootings, school shootings. So it's just really hard. I'm sure that's a tough day for you, a tough story to cover. Heidi Hatch, thank you so much for taking the time for us on 24/7.